We're going back to the basics with voiceovers over racing games. 2019 John PonJorno is back. So Forza Motorsport just released like a few weeks ago, and I have been playing it a good amount actually, and I've had like crazy good, fun, wacky races. I did save them like on the game itself, but there's a bug that the replays are not working. So hopefully that gets fixed and I can bring you those replays, because there's some wacky stuff in there. But for now I was like, okay, let's record some more races and see if I have like any entertaining ones. This one was pretty good, so I'm gonna bring you this one. I'm doing my qualifying right here. As you can see, it's pretty wet, which for me is not the best, because like obviously I haven't played Forza Motorsport in like years actually, so it was a bit rough to getting used to, and this is like the only 3 laps I did in this car, so I was very unfamiliar with the car, unfamiliar with the physics, how the game worked, stuff like that. So yeah, don't expect anything amazing from me, but it was just a really fun race. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So because qualifying was in the wet, I was like, okay, it's probably gonna be pretty wet as well while we start the race, and I mean it was still pretty damp. But I should have started on the wet tires. But anyway, we will figure it out like along the way. So off to a great start, already gaining a position. But I'm also gonna deploy very good tactics. I'm gonna misjudge the length of my car, kinda tap this guy, and then I see a gap, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. And then this guy turns in, and then we kinda like tangle with each other. It's just an unfortunate turn of events. But the steward said no penalty, so I mean, that was 100% clean. We can do that in every single race we race in, so thank you, stewards, for your blessing. But yeah, like I said, like the length of the car, like it was longer than I expected, right? While I was struggling with that, this guy is gonna struggle a bit more and exit stage right, which is good for us. That's another position. But here again, misjudging like how like long my car is, and I slightly tap him, and unfortunately I push him wide. I was waiting on the verdict of the stewards, but again, no penalty. So I guess that was a sensational overtake, according to them. So if we keep going at this pace, we'll be like P1 in no time, right? So for me, now it was just like settling or like trying to get used to the car, like how it was driving, right? But here already, the track is like almost as good as dry, right? So I was kind of already thinking, should I pit for hards or not? So I was kind of trying to see how fast the tires were going off as well. And obviously on a dry track, the wet tires will like go off pretty fast. But at this point I was like, okay, let's just be sure, take it slow. I'm gonna do one more lap on the wet tires, because I knew the first like part of the track was still pretty damp. Settling into this race, nearly avoiding this guy who decided to take a trip, you know, on the barriers. But yeah, up into 4th place out of nowhere, within 1 lap, 4th place. But I knew I was gonna pit because I started on the wrong tires, right? I think you can do this race without pitting if you start on the right tires. But for the time being, I'm in 4th, which is good, and I have sight of 2nd position. Like the guy in 1st place is already like kinda gone. So yeah, let's just focus on getting podium first, and then maybe going for the win. Although I do need to pit, which is not gonna be great. But as you can see, out of nowhere, the damn track like disappeared completely, like it's gone. So I was like, fuck, god damn it. So I do need to come in, put on some mediums or hards. I was trying to decide like which tire do I need to put on. Unfortunately, that also made me not concentrate too much on my driving, because I was like, shit, what do I need to do, right? So I'm kind of forgetting how to drive and what lines that I need to take, and I'm gonna have a big brain moment and also just kind of forget like what a corner is, right? So I'm just gonna drive off and make my life more miserable than it has to be. Anyway, we dropped down back to 6. So I was like, okay, let's just go for the hards. Then I'm sure like my tires won't go off, because you know you have a chance if you go into mediums, they will just burn and die a slow death, which was not gonna be good for us. So back in 6th, which is not ideal, but I know when I go onto the hards, I will have more grip, more pace. So hopefully, you know, we can make up some good positions. And as you can see on the map, it's still pretty like, the pack is still pretty like bunched up. It's not very spread out yet, so I might have a chance. If I cut up with like a pack, they start fighting, explosions, they go left, right off the track, and I can just, you know, drive through without any issues. That would be ideal situation, of course. We got Castro 1230 sliding around in front of us, which makes me think like maybe he's like on the wet tires as well. And as you can see, like the tires are just like almost halfway gone already. So yeah, wet tires on a dry track is just pretty ass. So would recommend checking conditions before starting the race. I also kind of forget where the intro to the pit lane is. I thought it was here, but it's not. It's like after the chicane, so I kind of lost some time there. But anyway, the Mazda boys are probably waiting for me with some fresh, hard tires, which is gonna be amazing for us. We need it ASAP as possible. We got some sensational work from the Mazda boys. Like, they're wearing camo, so you can't really see them, but amazing work. 2.6 second penalty, and we're on our way again. Unfortunately, we do drop down to, I think, 19th. Yeah. So the guy in 20th is actually called Gungur Games, which is, I don't know, that was pretty funny. We got a guy exiting stage left and then just exiting the game, which is good for us, of course. 18th, which is not where we want to be. If the 8 can disappear, that would be nice. But for the time being, we're still 18th. But I know I have fresh tires. People might not pit, so they might struggle with their tires. So I just need to settle down now. You know, like this, make most of like every situation. He make a mistake, I get the position, stuff like that. So now it's just about settling into the race, putting in some good laps. Don't make any dumb mistakes or dumb, you know, track limit mistakes. It's maybe some foreshadowing, but it'll be fine. I assure you. So yeah, we got like 4 or 5 guys like directly in front of us. So I hope you're gonna start fighting. And then we can like capitalize on, is that the right word? Capitalize? I don't think, maybe. I don't know. I hope we can take advantage of some people here. And fortunately for me, advantage taken is gonna happen. Because first of all, we got a guy, you know, taking a visit to the barriers. Unfortunately, I can't immediately overtake him. But there's gonna be smoke bombs that are gonna be deployed. And there's gonna be cars everywhere. I think we got like 3 or 4 cars that were off. So everyone is kind of recovering. I don't really saw what happened. But yeah, that makes us go up into 13th, because there was also a guy in the pit. So we're getting close to the top 10. And if people gonna, you know, start struggling with their tires, like this guy, I think, because like he had like 0 grip turning in, yeah, it's gonna be a success. So we got Ale 5717 in front of us. We know he can make mistakes because he was off a few corners ago. So I'm just like kind of waiting patiently to see if I can see a moment that I can go through. And fortunately for me, that was one of those moments. And unfortunately for him, this is also one of those moments. But again, the same place. Like I didn't really. Yeah, I mean, it was no penalty. The steward said that was clean. So I'll take it. Okay, that was pretty dirty of me, but I would like to apologize to Ale. But the length of my car, man, I'm sorry. I don't know how long my car is. Anyway, we got another guy exiting. Why do I struggle with that word so much? Exiting, going off stage right, which is very nice. Like all the stages have been left today, but we're up into 9th, so. Up into the top 10. I'm still hoping for a podium, although we're at lap 4 off 7. But then again, people's tires will go off. I'm on the hard tire, so I should be fine for the rest of the race. But if I start driving like this, it won't be good. But I need to collect my thoughts. Not my thoughts, my thoughts. Or thoughts. What? Anyway, so fortunately, my own ability to drive is gonna give me a penalty because here I brake just a little bit too late, go off like maybe like a pixel off on track, and yeah, I got a 0.6. Like, I punted people off 2 or 3 times, not on purpose obviously, and the stewards were like, yeah, you're good, that's fine. I go off like a tiny pixel and they're like, oh my god, that's the worst thing you've ever done, 0.6 second penalty right now. So I was like, I mean, the guy in front of me has a 0.6 penalty as well, so, you know, we might be able to just overtake him and stay in front of him because of it. But my hopes and dreams of a podium were slightly fading, but I couldn't lose hope, because like in these lower rated lobbies, you never know, people can make very, very silly mistakes, and especially like the group in front is kind of close, so there's still a possibility they will just start killing themselves, right? Well, not themselves, other people, but you know what I mean. At the start of lap 6, this guy's gonna have some interesting defensive maneuvers, like going left, right, and then he just decides to, you know, drive off the track, which is, I mean, good for me. That's from an 8th place for me. Unfortunately though, like the group ahead is kind of starting to like have bigger gaps in between them. Maybe I was focusing too much on the map and not on my driving, because I am not taking the best lines. And I was like, okay, this guy behind me was probably struggling with tires, but out of nowhere, like his tires get like a second life or something like that, and he just like starts attacking. I was like, oh no, the arrow of death is coming. And we kind of like touch in the way that I touched people before. That was weird. Anyway, I unfortunately did cut the corner there, and I go wide here, and the stewards don't like that. So that's a 1.3 second penalty added to my time already, which is not good. Yeah, I guess the guy was also struggling like with, you know, the length of the car. I don't know what it is. I was just struggling with that, so maybe he was as well. Anyway, 1.9 second penalty in total. But, you know, looking ahead, like the guy in 7th has a 1.8 second penalty. So if I just overtake him and I am like 0.1 seconds ahead of him, I will be able to just, you know, keep that position. Anyway, we need to settle down, get some good laps in. Well, get some good laps in, I say. It's like the 6th lap, and we're approaching the 7th. Luckily for us, there was a guy, you know, playing with sand. I don't know what he was doing, but he went wide. Maybe something with his tires, maybe missed a corner. I don't know what. A guy up ahead as well, taking a trip into the sand pit, or whatever it's called, which makes us close up, get the slipstream, which is good because we can use all the more pace we can get. My tires good. I'm happy I went for the hards because the mediums would be struggling now. We got another guy exiting. God, that word, man. It's like going off stage left, which is a 6th for us, and all of a sudden, podium doesn't seem so far away, because people have been dying left, right, and center. So I'm just hoping that like the tires are going off very, very fast, and that me, you know, on my hard tires, who are still doing completely fine, will do me good and bring me to a podium. So we got the guy in 5th, the guy in 4th in front of that. The guy in 3rd is like a long way out, but if he makes a big mistake, you know, we can take advantage of that and hopefully get that podium. But we're quickly gaining on 4th position, so I think he's definitely struggling with his tires. So I was very hopeful. I was like, okay, let's play the waiting game. Let's not drive too aggressive. Just trying, you know, follow my lines, follow my braking points, all of that, and just hope that, you know, the tire degradation just will do the job, right? Because I still have a slipstream from the guy in front, so he's dragging me along, approaching 4th place quickly. He's probably feeling the hot breath of closing soon and John PonJorno in his neck. I do kind of miss the corner here, but it doesn't really matter because, like, you know, I have the slipstream. I was gonna play the waiting game, and hopefully into the next chicane I will be able to do a move. But I don't need to wait until the next chicane to do a move, because they're gonna do my move for me, you know. So they just they just tangle up with each other. Thank you very much. Sensational double overtake up into 4th place. Unfortunately, 3rd place was a bit too far away. He didn't make any mistakes, but overall sensational last lap. I mean, couldn't ask for anything better, and it's gonna be a 4th place. So better than I was expecting. I think I gained like 6 or 7 positions overall. So yeah, some solid driving performance sometimes. But yeah, the guy in first actually like gained 11 positions, which is crazy. So yeah, that was really fun, and I'm really looking forward to do more of these things. Like again, I have 2 crazy races. I just need them to be, you know, working. So I hope I can get them to you pretty fast. But for now, that was the Suzuka race in the Formula Mazda 15. Very nice, very cool. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.